The awakening. The cold metal walls of the chamber echoed with silence. For 3,000 years, it had been a tomb for Alex, a soldier from the past. His heart had stopped beating, and his mind had slipped into a deep sleep, all while the universe moved on without him. Now, a faint hum filled the room, slowly bringing him back to consciousness. With a sudden gasp, Alex awoke. The first thing he noticed was the bright, blinding light above him. As his eyes adjusted, he realized he was lying on a sleek, metallic bed, surrounded by strange devices blinking with lights. Panic surged through him for a moment. Where was he? What had happened? As he sat up, memories flooded back. He remembered the day Earth was destroyed. He remembered the explosions, the screams, and the chaos. Humanity had lost the war against the alien forces, and he had volunteered to enter hibernation to preserve humanity's last hope. But that was 3,000 years ago. What had happened in all that time? His thoughts raced as he swung his legs over the side of the bed and stood up. The room was sterile and unfamiliar, but it felt alive with energy. He stepped forward, his body feeling both heavy and light at the same time. With each step, his strength returned. Alex began to explore the small chamber, his heart pounding in his chest. Suddenly, a door slid open with a quiet hiss, and a figure appeared. It was a woman with short, dark hair and bright blue eyes. She wore a tight-fitting uniform adorned with strange symbols. "Welcome back, Commander Alex," she said, a smile spreading across her face. "Commander." Alex repeated, confusion clouding his mind. "What do you mean?" "I am Lieutenant Mira," she explained. "You have been in hibernation for 3,000 years. You are one of the last surviving leaders of humanity. We thought we lost you." Alex's heart sank. "What happened to Earth?" he asked urgently. "Did we win? Are there any humans left?" Mira's expression grew somber. "We lost, Commander. The alien forces took control of the planet, and humanity was scattered across the stars. We are survivors, living on different worlds, but we have not forgotten our home." Alex felt a heavy weight settle in his chest. The memories of Earth flooded back to him, vivid images of blue skies, green forests, and vibrant cities, now replaced by desolation. "Is there any hope of reclaiming it?" he asked, desperation creeping into his voice. Mira stepped closer, her expression firm. "That is why we awakened you. We need your leadership, your experience. There are still pockets of humanity out there, and we believe they will follow you. You are our best chance to unite and fight back." A spark of determination ignited within Alex. He had been sleeping while the world suffered. Now, it was time to take action. "What do we need to do?" he asked, feeling the familiar fire of resolve return to him. "We must gather our allies," Mira explained. "We have advanced technology and ships ready. We need to reach out to the surviving human colonies and convince them to join us. We believe if we can unite, we can reclaim Earth." Alex nodded, a sense of purpose washing over him. "Let's get started. How do we reach them?" Mira handed him a small device, its screen glowing softly. "This communicator will allow you to send a message across the galaxy. We will use it to broadcast your voice and your story. It's time for humanity to remember who we are." As he held the device in his hands, Alex felt a rush of emotions. He was no longer just a soldier. He was a leader, a beacon of hope. "I'll tell them the truth," he vowed. "I'll remind them of what we lost and what we can still fight for." Mira's eyes sparkled with admiration. "That's the spirit, Commander. We believe in you." Alex took a deep breath, steadied his thoughts, and pressed a button on the communicator. The device hummed to life, and he could feel the energy building within him. He cleared his throat and began to speak. "People of the galaxy," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I am Alex, a soldier of humanity. For 3,000 years, we have been scattered, but we have not forgotten our home. Earth, we have suffered, but now we must stand together. We must reclaim what is rightfully ours. Join me, and together we will avenge our fallen world." As the words echoed across the void, Alex felt a surge of hope. The fight was not over, it was just beginning. He looked at Mira, who smiled back at him with pride. Together, they would rally the survivors, awaken the spirit of humanity, and take back their planet. This was just the start of their journey, a journey that would test their strength, courage, and resolve. But for Alex, there was no turning back now. Earth needed them, and humanity was ready to rise once more. The call to arms. As the message from Alex spread across the galaxy, the atmosphere aboard the ship buzzed with anticipation. The crew members, a diverse mix of humans and other alien species, gathered in the command center. Alex stood at the forefront, feeling the weight of their hopes resting on his shoulders. He glanced at the faces around him. Some were young and eager, while others bore the scars of countless battles. They were united by a single purpose: to reclaim their lost home. "Commander," Mira called, breaking his reverie. "The response to your message has started coming in. We're receiving signals from several colonies, and many are ready to join the fight. But there are also some who are hesitant." Alex nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "Gather everyone for a briefing. It's time to address those who are still uncertain about joining us." In moments, the command center filled with the sound of voices and the low hum of machinery. The crew members settled down, their expressions serious. Mira activated the holoscreen, displaying a star map dotted with the locations of human colonies. "Here's what we have so far," she said. "We have responses from New Haven, Elysium, and Titan Station. Each of these places has its own reasons for hesitating. Some fear that joining us means facing the alien threat directly again." Alex stepped forward, feeling the urge to inspire them. "I understand their fears," he began. "I felt them too. We've lost so much already, and the thought of fighting again may seem daunting. But what we stand to gain is far greater than the risk we face." He gestured toward the map. "These colonies represent the last remnants of humanity. Each of them carries the legacy of our people, and if we don't act now, we risk losing them forever. This isn't just about fighting. It's about preserving our future." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the room. Alex continued, "The aliens may have taken our home, but they haven't taken our spirit. We have technology, unity, and the will to reclaim our destiny. I urge every one of you to reach out to your contacts on these colonies. Let them know we are not just survivors. We are warriors ready to fight for our future." A voice called out from the back of the room. It was Marcus, a veteran pilot known for his sharp instincts. "What's the plan, Commander? How do we convince them to stand with us?" Mira quickly responded, "We will send envoys to each colony. We need representatives who can communicate our vision and show the strength we have as a united force. We'll need ships, resources, and allies." "I'll lead the envoy to New Haven," Alex declared. "They were once one of our strongest colonies. If we can win them over, it might inspire the others." Another crew member, an engineer named Leela, raised her hand. "What about Elysium? They have advanced tech. If we can convince them, they could help us with upgrades for our ships." Alex considered this for a moment. "Good point. Mira, you should take a team to Elysium. Show them the strength of our cause. If they see that we're serious, they may reconsider." The crew members nodded in agreement, their expressions shifting from apprehension to determination. "Let's gather our resources and prepare for departure," Mira said, energizing the group. "This is our moment." As the crew dispersed to gather their things, Alex remained for a moment, looking at the star map. He felt a sense of urgency coursing through him. He knew the stakes were high, but for the first time in years, hope sparked in his heart. The ship blasted off into the vast expanse of space, engines roaring as they left the home they had built aboard the vessel. The crew members prepared themselves for the tasks ahead. Alex, Mira, and the others spent hours strategizing their approach. Within a few hours, they arrived at New Haven, a small yet bustling colony. Alex could see the city's lights twinkling in the darkness, a reminder of life amidst the vastness of space. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of his mission. Upon landing, they were greeted by a group of representatives from the colony. Their expressions were cautious, but Alex could see a flicker of curiosity in their eyes. He stepped forward, ready to make his case. "Thank you for meeting with us," he began, his voice steady. "I know this may seem sudden, but we have a unique opportunity to unite against the threat that destroyed our home. We are here to invite you to join us in our fight for humanity." One of the representatives, a tall woman with silver hair, crossed her arms. "We have heard rumors, but how do we know you're not just leading us to our doom? We have already suffered so much." Alex felt a pang of frustration, but he remained calm. "I understand your fears. Trust me, I've faced the same doubts, but I stand before you as proof that humanity will not be extinguished. We are resilient, and together we can reclaim our lost home. We need your strength, your resources, and your courage." The room fell silent as the representatives exchanged glances. "Show us you're ready to fight," the silver-haired woman challenged. "Prove that you can lead us to victory, and we will consider your offer." Alex nodded, accepting the challenge. "We will take you to our ship and demonstrate our capabilities. You will see firsthand that we are ready to stand and fight." Mira stepped forward, her presence commanding. "Let's not waste any time. Our fleet is waiting. Together, we can show them what we're capable of." As they prepared to show the representatives the strength of their ship, Alex felt the urgency of their mission pressing down on him. He knew the future of humanity hung in the balance. If they could win over New Haven, it would spark a fire in the hearts of others. The battle to reclaim Earth was just beginning, and with every ally they gained, they grew closer to their ultimate goal. The Alliance Forge. The atmosphere aboard the ship hummed with excitement as Alex and his crew prepared to showcase their capabilities to the representatives from New Haven. The starship gleamed with advanced technology, a testament to humanity's ingenuity and resilience. They gathered in the central command room, where the massive viewing screen displayed the starry expanse of space beyond. As the ship maneuvered away from the colony, Alex felt the eyes of the New Haven representatives on him, their expressions a mix of skepticism and intrigue. He turned to Mira, who was at the control panel. "Are we ready to show them what we've got?" "Just about," she replied, her fingers flying over the controls. "We'll begin with a demonstration of our weapon systems, and then showcase our agility. That should impress them." The silver-haired representative, whom Alex learned was named Lyra, stood with her arms crossed, still guarded but slightly more engaged. "Make sure you show us your best," she said. "Our people have lost so much. If we're going to join you, we need to know we can trust your abilities." With a nod from Alex, Mira initiated the demonstration. "All right, everyone. Stand by for a display of our ship's capabilities." The ship powered up its systems, and the lights dimmed. With a jolt, they shot forward, accelerating rapidly. The crew felt the force pushing them back into their seats. Alex watched as the stars outside blurred into streaks of light. Mira guided the ship through a series of complex maneuvers, twisting and turning with incredible speed. The representatives gasped, their earlier skepticism fading as they witnessed the ship's agility. "Now for the weapons," Mira declared, and the ship's targeting systems locked onto a nearby asteroid. With a flick of a switch, she unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, each one striking the asteroid with precision. Dust and debris erupted in a dazzling display. "Impressive," Lyra admitted, her tone softening. "But what if you encounter an enemy fleet? Do you have a strategy?" Alex stepped forward, ready to respond. "We've spent years analyzing our adversaries. Our plan is to strike quickly and decisively. We will not engage in prolonged battles. We aim to catch them off guard. With each ship we rally to our cause, our strength will only grow." Lyra nodded, clearly impressed. "All right. You've shown us your capabilities. Now, tell us what you need from us." Alex took a deep breath. This was the moment he had been waiting for. "We need your ships, your crews, and your commitment. Together, we can stand against our common enemy. But we also need supplies and resources to prepare for what's ahead." The representatives exchanged glances, murmurs of agreement rippling through the group. "If we agree, what's in it for us?" one of the younger representatives asked. Alex felt the weight of their question. "If we succeed, you will not only save your colony, but also reclaim Earth for all humanity. You will stand with us as equals, not just survivors of a past tragedy." The air was thick with anticipation as Lyra considered his words. Finally, she turned to her fellow representatives. "We have to make this decision carefully. We've lost so much already. We cannot afford another failure." "Let's consult with our leaders back on New Haven," she said. "If they agree, we'll join you in this fight." Alex nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "Take your time. But know this, we will be ready when you are." As the representatives departed to contact their leaders, Alex felt a flicker of hope. They had taken the first step toward building an alliance. But he knew that gaining New Haven's trust was just the beginning. Back on the ship, the crew buzzed with energy. They gathered in the lounge, sharing their excitement and anxieties. Mira, sitting beside Alex, leaned in. "Do you think they'll join us?" "I hope so," Alex replied. "We need them to believe in our cause. If we can get one colony on board, others will follow." Marcus, who had been eavesdropping, chimed in. "Let's just hope they don't take too long. The longer we wait, the more vulnerable we become." As they discussed their next moves, the ship's comm system crackled to life. "Commander, we're receiving a signal from New Haven. They're ready to talk." "Bring it up on screen," Alex instructed, his heart racing. The screen flickered, revealing the face of New Haven's leader, a middle-aged man with a weathered expression. "Commander Alex, I've spoken with my council. We agree to join you in your fight for humanity." A cheer erupted in the lounge, but Alex held up a hand for silence. "Thank you. But we have much work ahead. What resources can you provide?" The leader's face turned serious. "We can offer a fleet of ships and a contingent of trained pilots. However, many of our people are still wary of another war. We need to convince them that this is worth the risk." Alex nodded, appreciating the honesty. "We will show them that we are ready to fight. Together, we will demonstrate our strength and resolve." As the call ended, Mira turned to Alex, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "This is it. We've secured our first ally." Alex couldn't help but smile. "Yes, but we still have more colonies to reach out to. We need to gain as many allies as we can if we want to make a real impact." The crew began to brainstorm ideas, their determination palpable. They strategized how best to present their cause to other colonies and how to rally support. As the ship prepared to set a course for their next target, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity was rising once again. They were no longer lost in the shadows of despair. They were stepping into the light, ready to fight for their future. With every decision, every ally gained, they were one step closer to reclaiming their home and proving to the universe that humanity would never back down. The first clash. The ship hummed softly as it glided through the endless void of space. The crew gathered in the command center, their faces illuminated by the flickering lights of the control panels. Alex stood at the helm, focused and determined, while Mira monitored their course to the next colony. They were on their way to Ceres, a vital outpost that had been hesitant to join the fight against the encroaching enemy. "Are we ready?" Alex asked, glancing at the crew. Each member nodded, a mixture of excitement and anxiety in their expressions. They all understood the stakes. "Approaching Ceres in 10 minutes, Mira announced, her voice steady. "We'll need to be prepared for anything." "They may not be receptive." Alex nodded, recalling the reports of the enemy's attacks on the outpost. The last few months had been brutal, and many colonies had lost hope. If they could persuade Ceres to join them, it would significantly boost their numbers and morale. As they entered the orbit of Ceres, the site of the colony appeared on the view screen. The once thriving outpost now bore signs of distress. Smoke rose from a few buildings, and the lights flickered erratically. "Mira, can we get a communication link established?" Alex asked, feeling a sense of urgency. Mira worked quickly at her console. "I'm trying, but it looks like their comm systems are down. They might be under attack. Then we should send a distress signal. Let them know we're here to help," Alex instructed, his heart racing. The crew sprang into action, transmitting their message. Alex leaned forward, watching the screen intently, hoping for a response. "Commander, I'm getting something," Mira called out, her fingers flying across the controls. The image of a weary-looking woman appeared on the screen. She was the commander of the Ceres outpost, and her eyes were filled with desperation. "Who are you?" she demanded, her voice strained. "We don't have time for games. If you're here to attack, we'll fight back." Alex stepped forward, trying to project calm. "No, we're not here to attack. We're here to help. My name is Alex, and I'm leading a coalition of human forces to reclaim our homes. We heard you were under siege." The woman's expression softened slightly, but doubt lingered in her eyes. "You think you can help us? We've already lost too many. The Abyssal Armada has made us their target. We've secured support from New Haven, and we can join forces to repel the invaders." Silence filled the room as the woman considered his words. "What's your plan?" "We've tried everything. If you let us in, we can work together. We'll target their ships and draw them away from the colony," Alex explained. "With your defenses and our technology, we can turn the tide." The commander hesitated. "I need to consult with my officers." "Do it quickly," Alex urged. "They may attack at any moment." After a tense moment, the commander nodded. "All right, I'll take you on your word. But if this fails, I will hold you responsible." "We'll make it work," Alex promised, determination surging within him. Mira and the crew adjusted their ship's course, aligning it with the colony's docking bay. They could see the damage the outpost had sustained, and it fueled Alex's resolve. They were fighting for the survival of humanity, and he couldn't let fear hold them back. As they docked, Alex gathered the crew together for a quick briefing. "Listen up. This is our chance to prove ourselves. Ceres is relying on us to protect them. We'll move quickly and coordinate with their defense systems, stay alert, and be ready for anything." The crew nodded, their expressions serious. Mira turned to Alex, her brow furrowed. "I hope we're ready for this. We're up against a formidable enemy." Alex met her gaze, his voice steady. "We are. We've trained for moments like this. We can't let fear dictate our actions. We'll show them that humanity is still a force to be reckoned with." Once inside the command center of Ceres, the atmosphere buzzed with tension. Officers moved quickly, relaying information and preparing defenses. Alex introduced himself to the Ceres commander and her team, outlining their strategy for the upcoming battle. "Here's the plan," he said, pointing to a holographic display of the colony and the surrounding area. "We'll need to position your defensive turrets here and here. Once the enemy arrives, we'll draw them in with our ship and then flank them." The officers exchanged glances, skepticism still lingering. "What if they overrun us?" one officer asked. "We won't let that happen," Alex replied firmly. "We've already lost too much. This is our chance to fight back." Just then, an alarm blared throughout the command center. "Incoming ships," an officer shouted. Alex's heart raced as he turned to Mira. "Are we ready?" "Everything is set," she confirmed. "Then let's show them what we can do," Alex exclaimed, adrenaline surging through him. As the enemy ships approached, their dark silhouettes looming ominously against the backdrop of stars, Alex took a deep breath. This was the moment they had prepared for. Humanity was rising to reclaim its destiny. With a shout of encouragement, Alex led the crew and the defenders of Ceres into the fray. Energy blasts filled the air as they engaged the abyssal armada, a fierce clash of wills echoing through the void. Together, they fought not just for survival, but for the very future of humanity. The battle had begun, and there was no turning back. The turning tide. The battle raged around them, chaos erupting as energy blasts lit up the darkness of space. Alex felt the vibrations of the ship as they dodged incoming fire from the abyssal armada. Alarms blared, and the crew moved in a whirlwind of activity, each member focused on their tasks, determined to protect their newfound allies. Shield strength holding at 70%. Mira shouted over the din, her fingers flying across the control panel. But we can't take much more of this. Divert all power to the forward shields. Alex ordered, gripping the console tightly as the ship jolted from another impact. We need to push them back. The holographic display of the battle showed the chaotic movements of the enemy ships, dark and menacing against the backdrop of stars. Their sleek forms darted through space like predators, hunting their prey. Alex felt a surge of anger. They had taken so much from humanity already. It was time to fight back. "Commander," one of the Ceres officers called out, "we're getting reports of breaches on the lower decks. We need to send reinforcements. Get some of your best fighters down there." Alex replied without hesitation, "We can't let them board us." "Mira, can you give us a view of the breaches?" Mira nodded, quickly pulling up the feed. The screen split to show the lower decks, where shadows moved in and out of the frames, their forms indistinct, but undeniably threatening. "Looks like a small squad of their troops has made it through," she reported. "We need to contain them. Let's deploy a security team to cut them off. We'll send a few of our best fighters," Alex decided. He felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. This was not just about their survival. It was about humanity's resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. Mira turned to him, her eyes wide with concern. "Are you sure we can spare anyone right now? We're already stretched thin." "I know," Alex replied, meeting her gaze with unwavering determination. "But if we don't stop them now, they'll breach our defenses. We have to take that risk." Mira took a deep breath, recognizing the fire in his eyes. "All right, I'll assemble a team." As the team prepared to move, Alex could hear the sounds of battle echoing through the ship. The defenders of Ceres were holding strong, but he knew that morale was fragile. They needed a victory, something to turn the tide in their favor. "Focus fire on that ship," Alex shouted, pointing to one of the enemy vessels that had broken formation. "If we take out their command ship, it'll throw them into disarray." "Firing," Mira replied, and the ship shuddered as energy blasts erupted from their cannons, streaking toward the enemy ship. The blast connected, and for a moment, it looked like the ship might crumble under the onslaught. But it held together, returning fire. "Adjust our angle," Alex commanded, determination fueling his words. "We need to be more aggressive." As they maneuvered, the Ceres crew fought back with newfound vigor. Alex could see their spirits rising, their belief in victory ignited by the prospect of reclaiming their home. He encouraged them with every command, urging them forward. "Look," Mira shouted suddenly. "The enemy is breaking formation. We've got them on the run." The abyssal armada, sensing the shift in momentum, began to falter. The once coordinated attacks became chaotic as confusion spread among their ranks. Alex seized the opportunity. "Now's our chance. Push forward," he urged, adrenaline surging through his veins. They charged ahead, energy blasts flying as they pressed their advantage. In the chaos, Alex caught sight of the Ceres officers fighting alongside them. They moved with purpose, their fear replaced by fierce determination. Together, they formed a unified front against the invading forces. The tide was turning. The defenders of Ceres and the crew of their ship fought like they were one, their determination solidified by the shared goal of reclaiming their future. With each enemy ship they destroyed, the weight of despair began to lift. The crew shouted in triumph as another enemy vessel exploded in a shower of sparks, a testament to their resilience. They were reclaiming their power, and it felt exhilarating. But just as victory seemed within reach, a chilling realization settled in. A massive flagship emerged from the shadows, dwarfing the surrounding ships. Its hull gleamed ominously, and Alex recognized the insignia on its side, the emblem of the Abyssal Armada's commander. "Everyone, hold your fire," Alex commanded. "We can't risk hitting each other in this chaos. Focus on the smaller ships." As they dodged and weaved through the remaining enemy vessels, Alex felt the weight of what lay ahead. The flagship was a formidable opponent, and they would need to regroup and strategize if they hoped to defeat it. "Commander, we're taking heavy fire from the flagship," Mira called out, panic creeping into her voice. "If we don't do something soon, we'll be overwhelmed." "Reroute power to the aft shields," Alex ordered. "We need to absorb the hits while we formulate a plan." "Can we get a damage report?" Mira nodded, quickly checking the systems. "We've lost some of our weaponry, but we're still operational. I can adjust our shields to withstand the flagship's fire. It will buy us time." "Good," Alex replied, his mind racing. "We'll need to distract that flagship long enough to regroup with our allies. If we can draw its fire away from Ceres, we might just stand a chance." With the crew working tirelessly to prepare for the next stage of the battle, Alex knew they were on the brink of something monumental. They were fighting for their lives, for the future of humanity, and he was determined not to let fear dictate their actions. "Let's show them what we're made of," Alex shouted, rallying the crew. "Together, we can turn this battle into a victory. Humanity will not fall." With renewed energy, they set their sights on the flagship, ready to face the most challenging battle of their lives. The struggle for survival had become a fight for honor, a testament to their resilience. The fight was far from over, but they would rise to meet it, united in their purpose. The final stand. The atmosphere inside the Ceres ship crackled with tension as the massive flagship loomed in the distance, its dark silhouette a reminder of the threat they faced. Alex stood at the command center, adrenaline coursing through him as he prepared for the ultimate confrontation. The crew was exhausted but determined, their spirits bolstered by the recent successes against the Abyssal Armada. "Mira, what's the status on our systems?" Alex asked, glancing at her as she worked feverishly at her console. "Shields are at 60%, but our weapon systems are struggling," she replied, biting her lip as she monitored the readings. "We can still fire, but I can't guarantee we'll penetrate the flagship's defenses. We'll have to make our shots count," Alex said, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. "Prepare the main cannon for a direct hit. It's our best chance to disable their command center." Mira nodded, her fingers dancing over the controls. "I'll align the targeting system. We have to get in close. Otherwise, we'll miss our shot." As they maneuvered through the debris of the battle, Alex surveyed the battlefield. Other ships from the Ceres defense fleet rallied around them, forming a tight formation. The chaos of battle raged around them, but a glimmer of hope sparked in Alex's heart. They were not alone in this fight. "Listen up," he called out to the crew. "This is it. We stand together as one. Today we take back what is rightfully ours. We fight not just for ourselves, but for the future of humanity." The crew erupted in cheers, their spirits lifted by Alex's words. It was a moment of unity, a shared purpose binding them together as they faced the colossal enemy ahead. They were no longer just defending. They were reclaiming their home. "Target locked on the flagship," Mira reported, her voice steady. "Ready when you are, Commander." "On my mark," Alex replied, his heart racing. He could see the flagship's weapons powering up, preparing to unleash destruction upon the Ceres fleet. 3, 2, 1. Fire. The ship shuddered as the main cannon discharged, a brilliant beam of energy slicing through the void. Time seemed to slow as they watched the projectile soar toward the enemy. Would it be enough to breach the flagship's defenses? The beam collided with the flagship, erupting in a spectacular explosion that lit up the dark expanse of space. The shockwave reverberated through the Ceres ship, rattling everyone aboard. Alex held his breath, hoping against hope that their shot had done some damage. As the light faded, a grim sight emerged. The flagship was still operational but visibly wounded. Smoke billowed from its hull, and one of its weapon turrets was rendered useless. It would not go down easily, but they had struck a blow. Direct hit, Mira shouted, a spark of excitement in her eyes. They're reeling. Let's follow up with everything we've got. Now's our chance. Alex roared, urging the crew forward. Everyone, attack. Target their remaining weapon systems. The Ceres crew unleashed a flurry of firepower, energy blasts streaking through the void as they struck at the flagship. The enemy ships attempted to retaliate, but their ranks were thinning, and their coordination faltered in the wake of the unexpected assault. We need to keep the pressure on, Alex shouted, watching as the abyssal forces struggled to regroup. We can't give them a moment to recover. As they pushed forward, Alex felt a surge of confidence. They were making headway, and the tide of battle was shifting in their favor. But then, an ominous warning blared from the control panel. Commander, the flagship is initiating a self-destruct sequence, Mira exclaimed, panic in her voice. If we don't act fast, it'll take us with it. Divert power to the aft shields, Alex ordered, the urgency clear in his tone. We need to get out of here now. The crew worked frantically, diverting energy to the shields as the countdown timer ticked down ominously. 10 seconds, Mira yelled, her hands flying over the controls. We need to get clear of the blast radius. Hold on tight, Alex shouted as he steered the ship into a sharp turn, accelerating as they fled from the flagship. The other ships in the Ceres fleet followed suit, their formations breaking as they rushed to escape the impending explosion. As they soared away, the flagship erupted in a brilliant display of light and destruction. The shockwave rippled through space, shaking the very foundations of their ship. Alex gritted his teeth, gripping the controls tightly as he focused on maintaining control. In the aftermath, silence fell over the battlefield, broken only by the distant sounds of damaged ships still engaged in combat. The Abyssal Armada had suffered a significant blow, their flagship destroyed, and their forces weakened. It was a decisive victory for humanity. The crew erupted in cheers, celebrating their hard-won triumph. Alex felt a mix of relief and elation wash over him. They had faced the abyss and emerged victorious. Humanity had once again proven its resilience. Great job, everyone, Alex shouted, his voice filled with pride. Today, we stood together and fought for our future. This is just the beginning. As the crew reveled in their victory, Alex turned his gaze to the stars. The battle had been fierce, but they had shown the Abyssal Armada that humanity would not be cowed. They would rise from the ashes and reclaim their place in the universe. The fight was far from over, but Alex knew they would face whatever came next with unwavering resolve. Together, they were a force to be reckoned with, united in their determination to protect their future. And as long as they stood together, hope would always prevail. New dawn. In the wake of their hard-fought victory, the crew of the Ceres gathered in the main hall, a space that had been transformed into a makeshift command center. The walls, once adorned with the scars of battle, now buzzed with the energy of hope and determination. Alex stood before them, the faces of his crew illuminated by the soft glow of monitors displaying their new reality. Today, we not only fought for our survival, but for our future, he began, his voice resonating with conviction. The Abyssal Armada thought they could erase us, but we proved them wrong. We are not just survivors. We are warriors. Cheers erupted from the crew, a chorus of voices filled with pride and camaraderie. Alex could feel the warmth of their unity, the bond that had formed between them during the trials they had faced. They had become more than just a crew. They were a family. As the excitement settled, Mira approached him, her expression serious. "Commander, we need to address the state of our fleet. We lost some ships in the battle, and repairs will take time. What's our next move?" Alex nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. "We need to regroup and assess our resources. Our immediate priority should be to strengthen our defenses and prepare for any potential counterattack. We can't afford to let our guard down." He glanced around the room, taking in the faces of his crew. "We also need to reach out to any remaining allies. The galaxy is vast, and there are those who share our cause. We must unite forces to ensure we're ready for whatever comes next." Mira smiled, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "I can start sending out communications to the nearby systems. We'll gather our allies and reinforce our position." As she moved to her station, Alex felt a surge of determination. They had faced the abyss and emerged stronger, but the fight was far from over. The Abyssal Armada had been weakened, but remnants of their forces still roamed the galaxy, and Alex knew they could not let their guard down. The next few days were filled with intense planning and coordination. The crew worked tirelessly to repair the ships that remained, while Mira and the communication team reached out to other factions in the galaxy. Slowly, messages of support began to roll in, each one a reminder that they were not alone in their fight. On the fourth day after the battle, as Alex stood on the bridge of the Ceres, he received an unexpected transmission. The screen flickered to life, revealing a familiar face. It was Admiral Valen, the leader of the resistance movement they had encountered earlier in their journey. "Commander Alex, it's good to see you again." Admiral Valen greeted, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. "Your victory against the Abyssal Armada has not gone unnoticed. We are ready to stand with you." "Admiral Valen, your support means everything to us," Alex replied, relief washing over him. "Together, we can push back against any remaining forces and reclaim what was taken from us. I've mobilized my fleet, and we're en route to your position. I believe this is our chance to strike a decisive blow against the abyssal forces," Valen stated confidently. Alex felt the fire of determination ignite within him. "We'll use this opportunity to establish a stronghold and take the fight to them. We must show the galaxy that humanity will not back down." As the communication ended, Alex turned to Mira and the crew. "Get everyone ready. We have allies joining us, and we need to prepare for a coordinated attack. It's time to send a message to the Abyssal Armada that we will no longer be their victims." With the newfound strength of allies behind them, the Ceres crew worked day and night to prepare for the next phase of their fight. As the ships of Admiral Valen's fleet arrived, the atmosphere on board the Ceres transformed. Hope radiated from every corner as they welcomed their new allies. The bridge became a hive of activity as they strategized their next move. Alex and Admiral Valen stood side by side, mapping out a plan that would take the fight directly to the heart of the Abyssal Armada's remaining forces. "This is it," Valen said, his gaze focused on the holographic map. "We strike at dawn, targeting their supply routes and communications. We'll disrupt their ability to coordinate and hit them where it hurts." Alex nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "We'll need everyone on board for this. This isn't just about vengeance. It's about reclaiming our home and ensuring no one else suffers at their hands." The crew rallied together, fueled by a sense of unity and determination. They were no longer just a ship fighting for survival. They were a coalition of forces ready to take a stand against oppression. The galaxy had taken notice of their struggle, and now they would rise together to challenge the darkness. As dawn broke over the horizon of a distant planet, the ships of the Ceres and Admiral Valen's fleet launched into the void, their engines roaring as they propelled into battle. The sight of their combined forces filled Alex with hope. They were more than just humanity. They were a force of resilience, courage, and unity. "Let's show them what we're made of," Alex shouted as they approached their target, determination burning in his heart. The battle ahead would be fierce, But Alex knew that as long as they stood together, humanity would not only survive but thrive. The dawn of a new era was upon them, and they would fight with everything they had to secure a brighter future. Together, they would emerge victorious.